entirely powerful notion of betting on ourselves that we really need to activate. We need to embrace the perspective that we deserve our support. Unfortunately, we have made choices and decisions that make us weak on trusting ourselves. But I want you to know that when you get that empowering inkling within yourself that it is your time and it is your season, it behooves you to bet on you. Now, today we're going to unpack more perspective about seizing the moment, seizing opportunities, and really allowing yourself to go with it. I want you to be empowered. So let's get into it. For the longest time, I secretly wanted more. I often found myself shrinking to fit in, settling for what was comfortable, and even selling myself short. Once I finally accepted that we deserve success and we are blessed with the power to achieve it, I stopped playing small. I'm serious about building a life I love, and you should be too. I'm Denise Taylor of DeniseTaylor.live, and welcome to Embrace Your Power. I help women prioritize themselves, their success, and their happiness. Now let's meet this week's achiever whose story will inspire you to embrace your power and go. Well, hello there. It's Denise Taylor here. And you know, I'm always excited to have you join me each and every week right here on Embrace Your Power. Now, this is the place where you can always count on me to encourage you to build a life that you love. You see, around these parts, we believe that God has not given us a spirit of fear. He's given us power. And when we embrace our power, we can do, have, and achieve anything that we want. Now, I believe that God will divinely inspire you to go after those things He is looking to do through you. But along with that, He is not mad at you enjoying your life. And I want you to know that you can go for it. Whatever it is that you dream to achieve, you can go for it and you can have it. Now, I don't know if you're watching me on YouTube or maybe you're listening to me on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, but I want you to know that every week I look forward to being connected with you. This connection energizes me. I find fulfillment in being able to encourage you to pursue your goals in your dreams. You see, one of the things that I get a kick out of is being a part of your success journey, hearing how you're going after what it is that your heart desires and you're able to achieve it, and really encouraging you on that journey. You see, your success makes me smile real big because I understand that that sense of achievement and accomplishment feels real good to the soul. Now, I want you to know that we are in the midst of open enrollment for my Power Play program. It's a 60-day empowerment journey where I get the chance to be your mentor officially. And I am bringing to the virtual stage people who are talking about their experience in working with me. Now, before we get into my conversation with Roz today, I thought I would share a couple of nuggets that I think will be very critical as you pursue your success journey. I want you to remember this perspective. Success is absolutely a personal journey, but it is not a solo act. And even though what you achieve will be personally fulfilling and satisfying to you, you do not need to go it alone. You can bring in help to help usher you past all of the obstacles, limiting beliefs, and even frustrations that may stand in the way, so that as you pursue your goals, you can accelerate to your success. Now, one of the things that I think is very, very powerful is this whole notion of getting closer to your answers. It's something that I say often because I know it has been a key difference in helping me to show up and be heard and serve with such great power. And I wanted to just talk very briefly about what to do when you can sense your answer is connected to someone that you've been exposed to. When you get the sense that a connection you have with someone, even though it may be from afar, is something that empowers you, energizes you, enlightens you, it behooves you to do three things. And here are the three things that I think are critically important. And they're almost the things that I mean behind all the times that I show up and say, get closer to your answers or come closer to your answers. The first thing is this. If you can sense that there is a powerful connection with someone that you've either been exposed to from a distance or that you made contact with up close, you should value that relationship. And what I mean by valuing the relationship is mean you set it apart. You make sure you give priority to it. You make sure you seek after it. You make sure that it becomes a treasure to you, that you treat it as a valuable asset in your life. One of the reasons why this is an important strategy is because you begin to allow it to separate from the noise. You begin to allow it to minister to you. You begin to allow it to help accelerate you to your success because you think of it differently. It doesn't fit in the same category as everything and everyone else. So you value it. The second thing that is very important when you sense there is a connection is that you get closer to it. You draw into it. Now, I don't know about you, but years ago when TD Jakes showed up and started talking about his whole ministry of Woman Thou Art Loose, that ministered to me tremendously. And so he became like this general in my life. And I will tell you, I did everything that I could to get as close to his voice, as close to his guidance as I could. And that meant I bought practically every DVD. I bought practically every video, every tape, everything I could get my hands on. I wanted to really get as connected to him as I possibly could. When he would show up within driving distance of where I lived, I got closer. And I will never forget the one time that he was ministering and literally he was standing there on the stage and I was standing right in front of him. And I'm telling you, he could have just blown and I would have fallen over because he was an answer. He was a lifeline for me. My efforts to get as close to him as I could in that season helped to change my life. I valued the relationship. I literally would get up every morning at 5 a.m. I would go down to my treadmill. I would put headsets on and I would just allow him to minister to me morning after morning after morning. And in doing so, it helped to change my thinking and helped to shift my perspective because in that season, he was exactly what I needed. And that's the same thing I would say for anybody who you sense has the answer for you. Get as close as you can. Do the due diligence to move closer. And then the last thing I would say is stay connected. As you get close, don't get weary in your connection. I am still connected with Bishop Jakes because he is a lifeline for me. And I get as close as I can to him. Now, there are other relationships that I have in my life. Certainly. And there are some that I could sit across the table with. There are some that I still have from afar. But the thing is this. I value them. I get as close as I can and I stay connected. And when I think about Roz, when I think about her telling the story of getting plugged in with me and how she talks about she's knew me from a distance for so many months. And as the months went on, she was able to get closer and finally be a part of Power Play. And even now, I am her mentor, helping her on her success journey. You know, getting the feedback from her where she says she is better because of me. I know what that feels like. I know what it is to be in her shoes and really make a connection with someone who made a difference in my life. And I value the fact that I get the chance now to do that for Roz. Being a part of Power Play helped to make that happen. And I want you to listen to my empowering conversation with Roz, and then I'll see you on the other side. So I always love to have people come on and share their experiences personally. And I am so excited that Roz joined me today to talk more about her experience with Power Play, the empowerment journey. So before we get into that, Roz, why don't you do me a favor and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi, Denise. I am just delighted to be here with you today. I am Rosalind Agurs, aka Radiant Roz, as a lot of people call me, and I do like that because I like to carry the light of God. I'm a woman. I am a wife of almost 33 years. I'm a mother of 3. I'm an author, and I am a believer. I am a Jesus girl. So, just that's who I am. Is if you look at titles. And what I like is part of who I am also is the passion I have about growing in the Lord, about the Word of God, about living and learning. I love to read. I love to write. I graduated from North Carolina Central University many years ago, but I'm a proud graduate of that school. I'm also gifted in the area of administration, and I'm able to use that in my occupation, Denise, as I serve orchestrating and facilitating and creating systems and processes that help the organization run smoothly. I am Rosalind.
You are phenomenal. Radiant Roz is definitely the right name for you. You light up a space and you bring so much joy with you. And I think that's the thing that sticks out to me the most when I think about you and being a part of Power Play. So do me a favor. You know, we started that process. You came into that process eager to have a mentoring relationship. So tell me about your impressions of Power Play now that you're kind of through that journey.
Whoo. First impression is empowering. I know that's a common word, but it empowered me, and it also enlightened me. One of the first things you led us to do was to look at our values, our core values. And of course, sometimes you think you know already, I know these things. But when we delved into that exercise, looking back at what we saw our values to be years ago, and then comparing it to where we are now, wow, that was enlightening for me. And it showed me, in a sense, what are you doing? And you need to live true to what is now important to you. So that was good.
One of the things that stuck out to me now that you took me back to that moment was when you got through that process and you were answering questions that led us into creating that affirmation for ourselves based on the values that we identified were meaningful to us now. And it was very moving for you, yes. I remember, and very, very powerful in terms of an experience of really figuring out the identity of who you are now and what's important to you. Why was that so moving? Do you remember?
I guess in the essence, I really saw myself and what are you doing, Roz? You know, it was an awakening, I guess, so to speak. One of the values that I identified with now is fulfillment. And I guess I was thinking about my time, my age, and I know none of that matters. I was thinking about my journey of where I've been and what I held on to. And I always say integrity is important to me, but it was so much more than integrity. So in that moment, when I looked at the values and how are you living them out, and you kept saying, how are you showing up? It just came upon me, and I wanted to be more. I need to be all who I need to be.
Mm-hmm. You know, it's interesting that you picked up on that word fulfillment, because I recently heard like this 1 minute motivational moment from John Maxwell.
Mm-hmm.
And what he said was happiness is fleeting, but fulfillment is long lasting.
Yes, yes,
And so when I heard that, I thought that that was so powerful because I too can resonate with
yes.
when you find yourself in the space of being able to really gravitate to something that is fulfilling. It feels different. Like
Wow.
it satisfies you in a way that it's almost hard to explain, but it almost is like this feeling that comes in and just really saturates voids that were there, right?
Wow.
And so I too can resonate with how empowering it feels to really begin to identify things that fulfill you. The other
Yes.
thing that sticks out to me is how much of a cheerleader you are and how integral you were to helping build the camaraderie in the community within the Power Play group. And so I want to say to you, I appreciate that. And I think
Oh,
that that is a phenomenal gift that you bring to the table. Tell me from your perspective, what was that community like for you?
good question. I immediately when I saw at first we were going to be in a group, Denise, I was like, oh no, because I took so serious coming into it that you know what, I am really at a point I want to get unstuck.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also what I call myself a bubbly introvert, and then I mean I'm gonna have to bear all in front of the community. So but I was up for the task, and we all connected. Now I had a relationship with one of the ladies, and in fact, she was instrumental in us, making the plunge to come on into Power Play. And so I knew her, but even with newly knowing her, I knew that there had to be a complete bearing of me. So for me, it was. I saw everybody there. Then I saw it was a small group, which was good for me. And as they shared, each one shared, we just went with it, and I went with it, and I was willing to, just let it all out with the group. Community was great. We pulled on each other. We identified in some areas we didn't, but it was good to hear people's perspective and how they were, clawing through the journey to do what they needed to do.
So that's an interesting call out because some people tend to shy away from group programs. So tell
Yes.
me from your perspective, did you still feel like it was a personal journey and you had personal support in addition to the group aspect of it? Because I know both of those perspectives could be valuable to someone.
Yes, absolutely felt that there was a personal touch to it. You really availed yourself beyond the group so that we could have those times of one-on-one. And then when we were back in the group, you were very skillful, for lack of a better word, in sharing parts of us that had talked with you one-on-one, but helped in the community.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you were so available that yes, you felt like you were, I wanted your coddling a little bit, and so yeah, you provided that opportunity where there was one-on-one. So then when we were in the community, it was still okay.
Awesome. So tell me this. I know we talked a little bit about the values exercise and how impactful that was. What other key takeaways were in this process for you?
Ooh, I thought about that. Some of the things you said, which sometimes you'll think, I know that, but stop hiding in plain sight. I still, encourage myself every day with that. And then your first superpower, see yourself successful. I mean, I clung to that the whole 60 days, and still now. I think I shared with you in the community that once I got that one, I went to my Alexa and I programmed that to say every hour, see yourself successful. Rosalind, see yourself successful. That was key for me to change what I see, because I've been in my arena a long time. And in this effort to get unstuck and move on to all that God has for me, I need to see differently. So that is staying with me. And then the other was, I jotted this down, Denise, get out of your own way. Get out of your own way. You and I have shared many times, and when you ask me some of those pertinent questions, the answer is me. Is me. That's the problem, and I need to get out of my own way.
That's awesome. I'm so glad you had that self-reflection because a lot of the personal growth is that's what it takes. And many times we're afraid of that mirror work. We're afraid to really, look at ourselves and really be transparent and authentic with ourselves and see the areas where we do need to stretch and grow. That was
Yes.
something else that stuck out to me about you is your willingness to stretch and grow, even so much of joining the program to begin with. So take me back to that. What made you realize that this was an experience that you needed to get plugged into?
Actually, and God always does this. It's like a setup. Even when I'm studying or even looking on Instagram, it's like I always land on what I need or a person I need to see. So I came into the knowledge of you probably about 4 months before, maybe 6 months before. And I'm still trying to remember where it was or how we connected or if I heard you through Crystal. I don't know. But anyway, I started following you sort of from a distance, and I would see your post and it very encouraging. And then you were working on a particular program, mini conference or something for May. And I signed up for that and listened through that. Some of the ladies that you brought in, moving in a new space because I've been thirsty for a new tribe, for a new, hearing new things, being around new people, raising who I'm around. So you were just there. And then as we got closer, actually Crystal, another person in the community, was she and I were sharing, and I said, oh, I saw that too, that there's a power play program. I've been thinking about it, but I don't know, blah blah blah. And so we talked back and forth, and she encouraged me and I told her yes, and then she gave me further incentive, and we said yes, let's take the plunge. And beyond all that, Denise, again, you really talked about getting unstuck, and somehow just that unstuck stayed with me, and the timing was right, and here we are.
I am so, so, so excited to be on this journey with you. I will tell you that there are so many people waiting to hear your voice. And as you continue to ascend where you're going, you have no idea how many people are going to just be helped and encouraged because of you. And so those nuggets and takeaways, I want you to continue to remind yourself with that see yourself successful and get out of your own way, because I can tell you there's someone who needs every radiant shine that you show up with to help them be encouraged in their journey. And I know that I am just so blessed to have been a part of just your experience, and blessed to call you my mentee, my power player, and blessed to be your mentor. And I want to thank you for trusting me.
Yes, it has been wonderful. I know you said there's that Roz again, because I would often reach out, and you were so gracious at times that were beyond the moment to hear me, and to hear me then, and to really hear where I'm going with it. And we identified, whether you know it or not, I identified with you and some of the things you've been through, just our journey, being somewhere for long spaces of time, making the step to do differently. Just several things, some of the people we listen to, some of the ministers we listen to, and then I love that you stick with God in all that you do, in all that you're trying to do. You're making him the focus of what you do in the power play. You don't back down, and you also you take charge too. You don't let me or any of us off the hook. Yeah,
that's awesome. Thank you, Roz. Now, I don't know if you picked up on it as much as me, but I got the clear sense that Roz really enjoyed her power play experience. And even more than that, she found it to be very empowering to her. Now, in my conversation with her, I was able to pick out some of the incredible assets that come along with being a part of Power Play. And I'm so glad that they rang through so clearly to Roz because they're interwoven with intention. She called out the powerful goal setting exercise that we kick off with, where it's based on your values and it gives you a chance to understand what was valuable to you before and what's valuable now so that you can see your own growth and how understanding your values allow you to prioritize what's important with you. You may have sensed how she kind of got moved and even choked up when she thought about how they resonated with her now to drive her to more fulfillment. She talked about the powerful community, which I think is a tremendous asset for everyone involved in Power Play. And one of the things that I am very intentional about doing is allowing you to have a group experience paralleled with an individual experience. Now, I know for myself, because I have participated in group coaching programs, that sometimes that individual perspective can be missed. And I think that is so valuable to our success journey. And I am so glad that Roz was able to see that ring through in her experience as well. She also talked about being powerfully equipped, being given the things to focus on, being given the things to consider. She talked about the success superpowers, especially the one of see yourself successful, and how she used that all throughout the experience to spur her along. She talked about the powerful coaching and how it was able to help her do the two critical things of getting out of her own way and seeing herself successful. She talked about the resources that were made available and how we had a partner in community, but we also had resources and activities that helped to bring the lessons home. And then she talked about the powerful mentoring relationship that I have been able to forge with her, as well as everyone else in the group. And so I have to say, I feel very accomplished that her experience really tapped into all the benefits that I intentionally do to bring Power Play to life. Now, this journey, this Power Play journey, is one that I believe will help anybody who feels unsettled. You see, when you're feeling unsettled, when you feel kind of stuck, you just need some guidance to help get you through that season and help you navigate. And a mentoring relationship can be one of the most game-changing relationships to bring into your life because your goals become our goals. We work together on your success journey. Now, when you're there, when you're at that point of feeling unsettled and feeling stuck, it feels so personal. And your sense of urgency, it is there saying something has to happen now. But the biggest question that kind of still looms is how do you make it happen? How do you pursue that personal success? And I want to remind you again, it's not a solo act. Get help. Get closer to your help. Get as close as you can. Well, I have to admit it. This is absolutely my favorite time of the year. You see, it is open enrollment season for Power Play. And during this time, I get the opportunity to partner with women who are ready to truly embrace their power and go. I know you're powerful, and I want you to embrace your power so that you truly can be, do, have, and achieve what it is that you want. I want you to stop waiting, and I want you to stop hiding in plain sight. And more than that, I want to be a part of your success journey. I want to help you achieve. Now, Power Play is for high achieving women who often settle for a version of success that seems to prioritize everyone and everything else. My heart is saying to you that it is your season, it is your time to truly soar. I want you to succeed at overcoming obstacles. I want you to stick with your true desire. And more than that, I want to help you shake off fear. My Power Play program is a program that will help to inspire you, encourage you, and empower you to truly build a life that you love. Now, many people ask, is it for me? Is this something that can help me truly get the momentum to my success? And I want to tell you, if you are unsettled because you are truly unfulfilled, then this program will help you begin to figure out the right steps to take, how to get rid of limiting beliefs that keep you thinking that you aren't good enough, to help you achieve and get momentum in the path of the goals and objectives that you set for yourself. And most of all, you'll begin to experience satisfaction and fulfillment because you will be prioritizing you. You see, one of the things that we focus on during the course of Power Play are how to really embrace and unleash the success superpowers in our lives. There's 5 of those. The first one is see yourself successful. The second is shake off fear. The third is do the work. The fourth is take care of you. And finally, number 5 is hold fast to your faith. And as you are making progress towards your success, you will be infused with the right support from me to help you get to your goal. I say it all the time, but I mean it from the depths of my heart. I would love to be your mentor officially. I would love to be there to help motivate, coach, support, and guide you to your success. You see, my 60-day program is absolutely one that will help you get to your goals. There's 3 segments that are a part of that 60-day plan, and I've broken it down into ready, set, and go. And within each of those, I partner with you to help you accelerate your success. Now, there's a lot that's packaged in there, and so I invite you to go to my website. But the biggest question you need to ask yourself is if you need to begin to do something different that prioritizes you so that you can achieve your goals. And I believe that when you bring the right partners to help you, you will see your success happen in a way that fits you, brings satisfaction and fulfillment. I would love to be your mentor. I would love to help you navigate to your next success. And so open enrollment for this next round of Power Play is open until January 30th, 2023. You can lock in your spot and get more enrollment information on my website, www.denisetaylor.live. So before we close out today, I want to take a couple of minutes and just ask some questions. I want you to really think about where you are and where you want to be, because that's the real bottom line question to it all. We can all stay where we are. We can all continue to do what we're doing. But the one thing still rings true. We don't get different results until we show up and do some different things. And when I think about the Power Play experience, it is an experience that is ready for those who are willing to come closer to it and really lean into the experience and allow it to encourage you and empower you. And I guess my biggest question for you is this: how would it feel to really begin to shed those limiting beliefs that are standing in the way from your start? How would it feel to really overcome that and allow yourself to blossom right towards your dreams? You see, oftentimes we continue to allow things to distract us and to make excuse for us and hold us back from really going after what it is we want. I told you at the beginning, I'm about building a life that you love. I want you to experience life success on your own terms. Now, yes, I believe that God will divinely inspire you and you will find fulfillment by pursuing the things that He encourages you to do. But if you don't make motion towards doing that, towards building a life that you love, then you leave all of that on the table. And one thing I know this for sure. On the other side of your obedience to go for it is peace, prosperity, and fulfillment. And those are priceless. And so if you're leaving something on the table, you're leaving on the table the thing that is going to fill that void that you sense when you wake up saying there has to be more. And so my question is, what are you going to do to make the shift towards the more you desire? That inkling within you that you're sensing and feeling about where you need to go. I believe introducing a mentor into your life is a game changer. And it's the reason why a lot of successful people always accredit their success to having someone on their team that helps them in their success journey. And I am excited to be that energizer, that connector to help you achieve your dreams. But if we make no action to do something different, then we're going to keep getting what we have been getting. And so I want to encourage you to prioritize your needs, to prioritize your wants, and to go for what it is that you feel on the inside. Even more, I want you to know that you can come closer to your answers and accelerate your success. So visit my website, www.denisetaylor.live, so that you can get connected into Power Play while the enrollment season is open. Well, that's it, beautiful. Thank you for tuning in. Don't ever forget that you are truly blessed with life, love, and all the happiness your heart can hold. Be relentless in building a life you love without apology. I'm Denise Taylor, and you can always find me in our free Facebook community. It's Embrace Your Power, easy to find. Now be sure to rate and review this podcast and share it with a friend. And make sure you subscribe so that we can stay connected each week. And remember, God has not given us a spirit of fear. He gave us power. So be sure to always embrace your power and go.